Welcome to the Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. P, we got a special one tonight.
Well, we got another legend, man. Another legend.
Yeah. Well, everyone right now, man, go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast YouTube channel. Follow us on IG at Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Talk Your Ish Sports Podcast. Wherever you listen to your podcast, Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Podcasts, you can really lock in with us there, man. Let's get into it, man. We got a hoop legend, you know what I mean, from Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. 6-year pro, man. Our brother Jalen Robinson, man. What's going on, big dog?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks. I appreciate it.
All love, man. All love, man. We we want to give, as many athletes, coaches, trainers, sports media folks, especially folks of color, more opportunities just to share their journey and their gift, man. Because like I'm saying, like you said, it's rare that you're able to have this type of career. I mean, not everyone can play basketball at the level that you're playing. Right. So so that's why we here.
And this is their platform where they, share their journeys, man. Because a lot of people need to, sit down and hear, what it took to get from point A to point B. Because 9 out of 10, it's not easy.
Right. It's always it's a challenge. It's a grind. It's something that you just got to just stick with. You know what I mean? You can't really just give up when things get hard. It's something you got to endure. So you just got to keep going and see that light at the end of the tunnel and keep, just remind yourself that what your purpose really is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Jalen, let's get right into it, man. Let the people know where your sports journey started, man.
Yeah, so I'm from Columbus, Ohio, born and raised, and my favorite sport to play actually is football. I love football. I love watching football. I was just saying how basketball kind of chose me because of my size and everything, but I started playing ball, organized ball, like around 10 years old. I would say, because my football team had a basketball team. They was just like, they kind of put together a basketball team, threw us in the rec league. And ever since then, it kind of just stuck with me. I just seen it was just fun playing.
He was out there getting buckets. He was out there getting buckets, getting real physical.
I seen how big I was compared to everybody else. Yeah. And I was just like, dang, I'm at the advantage now. Because on football, I was playing, I liked the game of football. I was playing I played the running backs and stuff, but when I played up here in Ohio, I don't know if it's in Boston, but we got if you overweight, you got to be an X-Man. Mm-hmm. And the X-Man is you can't run the ball, you can't catch it, you can't do nothing. All you can do is block and tackle.
You know
what I mean? Was it like that in Pop Warner D when you played?
Not that I remember. Well, I don't think here in Massachusetts, nah.
No? Okay.
Yeah, it was like that here. So I was once I got older and I became bigger, I couldn't never run the ball, but I fell in love with just playing defense and stuff like that.
Yeah, I never dog in you.
Right, causing the pain. Causing the pain.
He's like, y'all ain't gonna give me the ball, man.
Bring it
Hey, you know what? Hey, as a kid, that was so disheartening too, man. I was sad. I can't run the ball. I can't score a touchdown. Even if I got a fumble, they gonna blow the whistle and it's over with because I got the big X on the back of my helmet.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
They hated on you. They hated on you early, big dog.
Early.
How big? So a lot of football players come out of Columbus, Ohio. How big is that basketball community in that area?
It's growing for sure. It's definitely growing. It's growing. It's always. I feel like Indiana is known for a basketball state, but I feel like Ohio is growing to almost overtake Indiana is for the king in the Midwest of basketball states, to be honest, because of who we produce within the last few years. You know what I mean? I just thinking, just to name a few, Jared Sullinger went to Ohio State.
Yep.
Played for the C's. He played for the C's.
Yep. Trey Burke, Terry Rozier. It's just a few guys that's in the league that's doing their thing too. So I feel like, Ohio is it's slowly but surely becoming a basketball state for sure.
Word.
But football, I feel like the culture is football for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Liddy. So where do you growing up, when did you fall in love with the game and all right, cool, it clicked, yo, all right, I want to be great at this?
Man, I'm gonna say around 10, 11 years old, just playing in the backyard. We had a hoop in the backyard. My older brother, was always like the athlete, the star of the family. Everybody just loved him. Just wanted to just be around me. You know, that kind of vibe. So just seeing him being good at both sports, it made me want to follow into his footsteps and to try to be like him, really, to hoop and play football and do all these things and have people love me because of the sports. And I feel like I was like that kind of inspired me as a youngin', like around 10, 11 years old, seeing him being dominant.
Lit. Speaking of my siblings, I'm probably the best athlete. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I got it. Basketball, baseball, football.
Don't take that seriously.
I got it.
I think he's just throwing that out there.
Got it. Them guys.
He just saying it.
No. My brothers were good, but they didn't have the careers I had. So I mean, they can't.
Oh, okay.
They can't.
Okay.
I mean,
that's what that matters. The career,
right. Yeah, I mean, I got rings, baby. I got rings. They ain't got no rings. I mean, that means something.
That matter right there. Whoever got most accolades.
Yeah. That's how I talk my shit. Yeah, that's how. You know what I mean?
You got a lot of participation trophies.
Carried a lot of teams beyond expectations. P. I was carrying teams beyond expectations. But Jay, man, like for as you're growing up now that you find yourself being you were bigger than everybody else, but like when you're finally now you're dominating, how did you get your name out there? Like, were you playing more tournaments like on the AAU circuit? How'd that work?
Yeah, so I remember like it was yesterday, to be honest. It's this place called it's no longer in existence, but it's this place called The Hoop. It was called The Hoop in Columbus, Ohio. And it was like a big gym with 6 courts, you know what I mean? 6 82, 84-foot courts, whatever. And all the major tournaments were held there. And it was this guy, he wrote for ESPN, and he was like a senior writer for ESPN. He was from Ohio, from Columbus, Ohio, and he was just up there and just so happened to be watching my game. And I was in 7th grade, and I was playing for this team called the Columbus Hawks. Shout out to the Columbus Hawks. And I was doing my thing, and I wasn't paying no attention to it or nothing. I'm just over there just hooping. And after the game, he come up to me and was just like asking me all these questions, and I was like, I ain't know, you know what I mean? I'm so oblivious. I didn't know what was going on. I was asking me questions. I was telling him, like, my height, my size, where I'm going to school, where I plan to go to high school and all that. Before you know it, they came out with like a list of the top 10 8th graders, 7th graders, or 7th graders going into 8th grade. And my name was on that list.
Yeesh.
On Buckeye Prep. It was this thing called Buckeye Prep. I'm like, I ain't know, I didn't even know really nothing about it. One of my friends showed it to me. So that was like, that inspired me right there to be like, oh, I'm doing this.
Word.
If they saying I'm top 10 right now, they're going to say I'm number 1 by the time my senior year is over with. So I just like, I'm done with football. I'm doing this. It's a wrap. I'm doing this.
Now, do you remember, was you giving out work during that whole tournament?
And it was like, the team I was on was like a second tier, maybe even the third tier team that was like, could beat the teams that was above us, but for the main part, it was like, we are who we are. So I was just like the biggest kid on the team.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that, like, obviously in basketball, that's what the main thing, that's the eye right there. They look for the biggest player or the most athletic, jumping, fast, whatever. I just happened to be the biggest guy on the court that day. And, it was like, yeah, I feel like I was hooping for sure. Like, I feel like I had to be hooping for this dude, John Stovall, to come up to me and be like, oh, who was you? Right? Ask me all these questions. I feel like I had to be hooping. Like, I had to be.
Right.
How did that experience, like, in terms of, like, now that your name is out there, now it's like, okay, now I'm kind of like, even though I got to play the high level, I kind of like manage like where I'm playing and like who I'm playing with now. Like, so how did you choose about choosing your teams and stuff?
I didn't even, man, real talk. I didn't even get to choose my team. Like, they just came and got me and picked me up from the crib. So it was like,
you with us. You ain't with nobody else.
Like,
right.
My mom was like, my mom hooped too. My mom was a great hooper in high school, had scholarships and all of that. You know what I mean? That's where I feel like I got my skills from, because she's the one who put the court in the backyard, or when we moved to another neighborhood, we're going to put the court in the front yard. Like, she was the one who was like, this is what y'all gonna do because I did it.
Right,
you know what I mean? So, but man, they just was coming to my crib or calling on mom and just like, yeah, we need him for this tournament. But once it's a program here called Ohio Red, and they have Ohio Red was the top, and they got black, and any color after red is like second, you know what I mean, second to red. So Ohio Red called me and was just like, yo, we got this tournament coming up. We putting together this team. We want you on it. Come to the tryout. And I went to the tryout, and I didn't even feel like I really did that good, but I was just like, I feel like because of that article that was written on me, just pushed me all the way over it. You know what I mean? The select group of people that was there was like, he's gonna be on the team no matter what. And I didn't know it in the time, but looking back, it's
that's super dope.
Yeah, and looking back, it's like, okay, it was just like kind of like playing from the get-go, like he's gonna be the one for us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeesh.
So how was a competition? You going through the AAU circuit? How was a competition like during that? During your AAU time, like what notable players do you remember like playing during your time?
A couple, you know what? A couple of Boston guys, Nerlens Noels.
Okay.
He's on the Knicks right now.
Wayne Sheldon.
Sheldon was tough.
Kansas.
George Niang.
He went to Iowa State.
It was called BABC. That team, they was
they were all on that same team.
Yeah, they was all on that same. That team right there, they was nice, but see, we had like kind of like a rivalry. Like my 16U, we had beat them in a super showcase in Florida. We beat them, and I'm like, no, we just beat Nerlens Noels, all these dudes. Like at the time, obviously they not in the NBA, but they still being hyped up and all that.
Right.
So I remember that team for sure. That team was definitely dope out of Boston. They was nice, and they ended up getting us again. They ended up beating us in the national championship game. That same, like the next week, we beat them and they beat us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that team, and then like my team, we had Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier, he was on my team.
Crazy T.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, yep. Well, he played for the Celtics too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was, and he brought a lot of attention to the team too because he had a big name.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They was it's like the guy, like whoever was the guy in the state, they were just pushing him to the fullest, and whoever got seen they just got seen. You know?
Right.
Was he that guy at the time in Ohio?
See, Terry, I feel like, to be honest with you, I was always like 1, 2, or 3. I was always 1, 2, or 3, like from 8th grade to 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. I was always 1, 2, or 3 consistently. And I feel like I earned that because I always hoop. But like Terry came along late, but once Terry came, it was like everybody was like, "Oh, he's number one. He's number one player in the state. He like it's him. We're gonna make focal point of all Ohio." And I wasn't mad about it. I was just because I knew like, dang, this dude's a dog. Like he's like we roommates on the road, and Rick Pitino was calling this dude, and I'm like, dang, that's Rick Pitino from Louisville. Like, you want to fuck with him? He leaving you messages talking about we want to offer you a scholarship. I'm like, oh, you the one. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
he's one of the ones. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like I've never been that guy to be a hater for real. Like when you know something, it's like you just gotta respect it.
Right.
I just respected it and like, okay, they obviously you the guy on the team. You gonna do your thing. I'm cool with it. Because everybody they gonna come see. They gonna see everybody.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, did that put a battery in your back, knowing that?
Yeah, for sure.
Talk about it, big dog. Because that's real.
Because you got to think. I mean, because my 16U, it was me and the guy named Teddy, and we led the team all the way to the national championship game in Florida. Like we actually was balling that year and led the whole team, our team, to national championship game. And the following year, we don't even start for All Ohio Red. They got us coming off the bench. Yeah. So it's like we looking at each other like, oh man, I'm about to, and I kind of knew that was gonna happen. So I quit before EYBL and all that was coming up, I just quit. I went to another team. And then I realized it wasn't what it was. I'm like, dang, I gotta go back to All Red. Dang, I don't want to, but I kind of got to because of what they bring to the table. I'm like, dang, I got to. So I ended up going back and I ended up doing my thing, but I realized like I'm gonna be like the third, fourth, fifth option on this squad. But I was cool with because it was still happening for me, but it was just like it was a big ego check. It was humbling.
Yeah.
And it was like I just had to just, you know what I mean, just take it. Like I ain't the guy on this team, but I'm definitely on this team for sure.
Right,
it was that. It was an elite team.
So on those elite teams and going into high school, man, like how did you guys build like this brotherhood that was going to keep y'all together, like to keep, because like iron sharpens iron. So obviously like you're on these elite teams with some really good players who are going to play on the next level. So like how did you guys come together?
Man, well, on my AAU team, it was only me and somebody else named Jordan Potts that was actually on the high school team. But on the high school team, like I was saying, like my sophomore year, it was Jared Sullinger, so I was behind him. Yeah,
you was behind Jared Sullinger?
Yeah, we got about 2 years in with each other.
Okay.
Yeah, we got 2 years in with each other. And then he played for All Ohio Red, the older squad. I played for the younger squad. And then along with Jared Sullinger was Trey Burke. He's a dog. That's like the best. Them two right there is the best players I didn't ever play with and seen play, like personally, because I just seen how they did people. I'm just like, bro, I never seen nobody. And they really respect the worldwide, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that freshman year, because I was big on D'Angelo going into
okay.
Because I remember him going, because he played with Ben Simmons in I forgot the name of the school that they played in Florida.
Yeah, me too. I think I know you're talking about.
It's in Orlando. I mean,
IMG Academy.
No, not IMG. It's Vernon. Is it Vernon Day?
Yeah, yep.
They played together on that team. He was smooth. He was a smooth lefty, just killing it. And then he went to Ohio State, and he was just cooking cats in Ohio State. He was definitely cooking cats in Ohio State. But how was your experience in E?
He played for Ohio Red too.
He did? Is he from Ohio?
He's from Louisville, but he played for Ohio Red. I'm telling you, man, they be going to grab these guys.
Wow.
They go and grab them for real.
So how was your experience playing was it EY?
EYBL.
I mean, because I just got, over the years, I just got hooked on to watching and hearing about it. I mean, that's a huge showcase.
Yeah, it's kind of like I never played in the NBA, so I can't say it. But to be honest, the talent that comes from there, it's kind of like playing in the NBA.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the schedule that comes with it, it's like, you got these 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids that's flying from Columbus to Los Angeles for 4 or 5 days, or going to Dallas or going from LA to Dallas and then going to Hamptons, Virginia, or going to Florida. It's just like the way it was set up and travel like that. It kind of felt like the league and everything being paid for and everything, it's like you don't have to worry about nothing. You're just hooping.
Right.
And now these guys can get paid and all this stuff. It's just like, I feel like it was the NBA before the NBA. Like the step you took if you dominated EYBL, you was going to the NBA for sure.
Right.
Like you had your shoe in from the EYBL.
I mean, because these are the top players in the country.
Right. And the year I played, it was like guys, like I said, Nerlens Noels, Julius Randle, Jabari Parker.
Oh my
man,
God.
It was like dudes. I was just like
Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins was in that.
Andrew Wiggins, yeah. And they all played up. I'm not that class. So they was young dudes playing. They was 2013 playing 2012.
Wow.
And they was still doing their thing.
And I think Zach LaVine was in that class.
He might have been 14. But he's still, even guys like him, so gifted playing 2 grades up. Like I played against Zach Levine, he's playing up. I'm like, bro, this dude now look at his age. I'm like, bro, he was way younger than us.
Yeesh.
And you hooping. Shout out to them.
That's lit. So now where you're at in your career, 6 years in, is it like that with the young guys that you see now?
Yeah, because it's still kind of the same. Because like the young guys that I seen was like Luka Doncic. And I seen him in Croatia, and I'm like, oh, this dude, that's who everybody talking about, the 17-year-old kid. And now, like, look at him. I'm like, dang, he was just, I remember all the hype about him because I played in Europe. Yes. Or like, it was another, or his name was Bender Dragon or something like that. Played for the Suns.
Yep, Bender Dragon, I remember.
Him, I'm like, these are the young dudes now. Even now that I'm a pro, these are the young dudes, and they just going to the league. They not doing no AAU, no none of this. They just doing skills academy in Europe, balling and killing in Euro League and Adriatic League and all this stuff, and they going to the league. I'm just like, this is the young guys I'm getting used to now as from year 1, year 2, year 3, and just seeing them coming from Europe really, and not necessarily like. I mean, of course, they coming from the United States, but to see that from Europe, being an American is like, dang, y'all doing your thing too, for real.
Lit. Sheesh. So let's talk about it, man. Like, so what is it like, how did you transition into being a pro basketball player? Like, what's your schedule, your structure? Like, how do you manage going, playing a hectic schedule and really dealing with all the pressures that come with that?
Right. My first year was like one of the toughest years of my life as far as sports. It was because in that whole Croatian area, they do not play about working out. So you're gonna work out 3 times a day, and they gonna make sure you in shape. And you can't keep up, they gonna send you home and bring in somebody else. So that was the eye opener for me, was conditioning. Like from being from college to a professional, if you can't play them minutes, they gonna send you home because now they paying you. They're literally paying you to win games. So if you can't get through that preseason, it's kind of like, it's like peace out. Now the team is mad. Now you done messed up your name. You messed your agent's name up. And you feel me? Who your agent worked for? They like, now next time they bring them team of players, like, we don't know. You know what I mean? Because last guy. Right. So it's like you gotta. It's not necessarily just you. Is what I'm kind of saying.
Right.
You got people behind you that you gotta. You don't even know that you have to perform for or be A1 for, so they can get a job. So you know what I mean. So your agent can keep having the job. Something like it's just it's more so of a business, to be honest. But the biggest thing was conditioning, for sure. 100% conditioning. It was different. It was difficult for me. It was 100. It was, man, that was the toughest thing I ever done.
Yeah, especially being in Croatia, because I'm just thinking like, damn, like what you gonna eat over there? Unless like you had to get like a whole new diet or just get used to how things were just done over there. That's crazy.
Yeah, they ate a lot of beef. They ate a lot of pork. They ate a lot of potatoes, meat and potatoes, stuff like that. Bread. You know what I mean? Bagels, biscuits. They love that. Like, that's how they eat. They don't really. It wasn't too many vegetables preached in Croatia, I can tell you that.
So you coming from Ohio and making that jump to Croatia, like how was it mentally? Like how was your mental making that transition? Because I'm away from my home from Boston. I go from another state. I'm missing home. Like you're in a whole different country. So how was that mentally?
Man, I would say the days leading up prior to me leaving was like the toughest because I didn't know what to expect. So once I got my feet on another soil, it was different at first. And of course I missed my family, my wife, my son, my mom and dad, all that stuff. But once I got used to it and I knew my purpose there, I was able to kind of focus in on what I had to do because I was there for a job. I wasn't there for vacay or away from anything. So it was difficult, but I would say the most difficult days was leading up to it versus me actually being there. Because when my first year, my wife and son, they came over like maybe a month or two after I got there. So I had something to look forward to. So it wasn't like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I was just completely like homesick. I knew for a fact they were coming.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But it was just like the days leading up to it. So I didn't know what to expect. The language, the food, the people. Was it dangerous? Is it high crime rate? You know, all that stuff. It was just like, I ain't know.
Yeah. That's, oh man. So how'd you like going through all that, when do you feel like you've played like your best basketball in the last 6 years? Like going through, you know, that type of adversity and then having the balance, focusing on doing your job on the court. When do you feel like you played your best basketball?
I would say I played as a professional, I played my best basketball. I was in Thailand. I was in Bangkok, Thailand, and I had a stretch. It was like a 60-day tournament. And I was going through so much at home. I was going through a divorce. I was going through just depression. My brother got killed years before, and I was still dealing with that. On top of a divorce, on top of just being away, I was just like, as a young man too, I'm like, damn, I don't know how to handle this.
Right.
So I was using hoop like really as an outlet, and I'm like, I don't care who I'm playing against, big name, no name, little name, I don't care. I'm killing you right now.
Getting this work.
Hey, you getting this work because I'm mad, I'm sad, I don't know how to feel on this court. I might even be crying on the way to the game type stuff just in the back because I'm so filled with emotion.
Right.
So I'm like, man, but once I knew we get closer, 10, 15 minutes away from the gym, I'm locking in. I'm like, because they used to pick us up and take us to the gym for the games. And I'm like, yeah, whoever I'm playing is getting. That was my best year because I was averaging close to 30 points a game. I was in good shape, skinny. Man, I was just like, I just had like a mindset where I just didn't care. Like, I don't care who you are, you getting this work. And you're going to know who I am. You're going to remember my, and that's how, and it's crazy because people that I play with, I still talk to. They're like, man, you know what I mean? We still have a friendship because of me busting their ass for real. You know I mean?
Talk your shit, big dog. My guy was averaging 30 in the 60-day tournament. You can't tell my guy's shit.
Right.
Can't tell me nothing. I really felt like, I'm like, man, I'm the king of Bangkok right now. We in this league. I really felt like a legend because I did it 2 times back to back. I did 60 days, went home, feeling good, had a pocket full of money, then came right back probably like a month later and then did the same exact thing again. And I was like, man, I was just like feeling too good. I'm like, man, I'm literally a king out here because I'm balling on everybody. You know what I mean? I'm just doing my thing.
So what's it like being featured on like a professional team like that? Like, I'm sure like you need to buy in from your coaches, like, yo, we're working everything through him right now.
Right. Man, I mean, you pretty much, after your first year, you pretty much know that going on to a team, you're going to be featured. You pretty much know, like, okay, they're paying me all this money, or even if it ain't that much money, they're paying me to be the guy.
Right.
And it might be 2 other Americans, maybe 1 other American, but they're paying us to make these other locals better. So it's like, I'm always gonna be featured because why are they bringing me from the United States to another country? So it's like, and that's not like that's just me being real with myself. That's just making me go harder because like I'm the one that's gonna be featured. And if I'm not showing up to, you know what I mean, to the level that they want me to be, this is a business. They will send your ass home. They will send you home the next day. I remember this dude named Jonathan Mines. My first year, I thought he was doing good. I'm like, yo, he averaging 12, 13 points. That's solid. They came to him and told him, like, yo, if you don't ball this game, you're going home. And he balled. He had like 19, 20 points. After the game, they just told him, like, we want something else. I'm like, that's heartbreaking because it's like, bro, you out here in a whole other country. You got to go home.
Right.
Like, you going back to the crib.
Figure it out.
You got to explain that to people when they ask, why are you back? You know what I mean? I'm just like, dang, like, it's a business. They know what they looking for. They know what they want. And they going to get it for sure. They may not, you know what I mean? They going to get it for sure.
So every day you got to go into that. You have to lace him up with that mindset that I got to kill today because I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow.
Unless you got a guaranteed contract, yeah.
Mm.
Now, some cats really have guaranteed contracts where it's like, as soon as you sign it and email it back, you got your 100,000, 150, 200, you know what I mean? Whatever, how much it is, you got it. Whether they cut you, you get injured, you got it.
Right.
But unfortunately, I was never fortunate enough to sign a guaranteed contract. So I was always like, I got a hoop or they gonna send my ass home. Mm. And then when I have a bad game, it's like, but see, that's the thing about being overseas. Your confidence level got to be through the roof. It has to be through the roof. Because knowing the fact that if you don't perform 2 or 3 games in a row, you're going home, you got to be out there with confidence to do stuff, like to just do it, you know what I mean? Like, because they all depend on you. And if you're not performing and you feel like you're going to go home, it's like, you know what I mean? You got to have that confidence and that mentality to be like, man, I'm not even thinking about none of that. Like, I'm cool. I'm focusing on what I got to focus on right now.
Right.
That's dope. Like, my next question is like, so like after watching like The Last Dance and like just seeing how like methodical and just like how insane Mike was, man, is that like standard like practice for the guys to like really just be in the gym at all hours of the night, like 24/7, like Kobe, like just locked in. I'm in here working on this in the morning, working on this in the afternoon. Workouts before games.
That's kind of what we was talking about beforehand when you was asking about Dawn State and Dayton. See, at Dayton, you could do that. You could be in the gym 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. All you got to do is scan your key, boom, you in there. Dawn State, you ain't doing that. Hmm. You don't have that luxury of doing that. So that's like a disadvantage of going. That's one of the disadvantages from going D1, D2, D3. You could make it from each and every level, but you have more tools at the Division I level. Absolutely. Like, absolutely. So to think about like Michael and the Last Dance, man, it was crazy to see all that footage and all that information behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Right. Like, that's stuff we never seen before.
Right.
And it's been all these years. So it's like, man, like looking at that, I was like, it was inspiring, but it kind of like revealed, it definitely revealed the ups and downs of everything that somebody like us probably wouldn't even know for real. You know what I mean? All we just see is like the shoes, the jersey, MJ logo. Like, we don't see like,
we think everything's sweet. Right, everything's sweet. Yeah.
Right. We don't remember the Jordan rule when cats was fouling the shit out of you. You know what I mean? Like,
no easy buckets. He come through the lane, knock his ass out.
Knock his head off.
Right. So that gave me more appreciation for Michael Jordan.
Word.
Definitely.
Who are the players that inspired you growing up?
Kobe Bryant, 100%. I didn't even know what basketball was, so I seen this dude with his afro going crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I'm like, my mom was watching the game. My mom was watching the game. And I know y'all probably remember this game too. They was playing against, this is when them and the Sacramento Kings was going at it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they was like really like battling. And I didn't really know what basketball was, but mom had a game on. I was just like, man, who was this dude with the afro going? Whatever, I don't even know what he's doing, but whatever it is, he the best one at it. And ever since then, I was like, yeah, I like him. That's my dude.
That's when he was wearing 8. That's when he was wearing number 8.
And listen, in that series, I mean, he's going against some legend Hall of Famers. You're going against Chris Webber. You had Bibby, Jay White,
Zlatovic, Bobby J.
Bobby J's
they had some dogs.
The Sacramento Kings now.
Yeah.
So you got
that was a crazy era, right? That was a crazy era right there. I like that's like one of my favorite eras of basketball for sure.
Gotcha. Oh no, definitely.
Gotcha. So at your position, who you rock with? Who's your top 5 at your position?
Power forward.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What you got?
Power forward spot. I'm going to say, okay, so right now let me ask this. So y'all don't consider LeBron a power forward?
I do. I mean, he's listed as small forward, right?
I don't consider him a power forward.
Okay, cool.
He's a 3.
He's a 3. Okay, I would say so too. I'm just asking because he played 4 spot plenty of times.
1 through 5. Yep.
Yeah, he plays it all. He plays it all. Jack of all trades.
That's a good question right there. I would say Tim Duncan, KG, Dirk Nowitzki. I want to say Olajuwon, but I really didn't see him to say it for myself, so I'm not gonna say him because I didn't see him play. He
was more of a 5.
He's more of a 5. Okay.
More of a 5.
Chris Webber. Just from what I've seen in my life, Chris Webber. And I gotta say, that's 4. Top 5. The 5th one, I would say Amari Stoudemire.
Ooh.
He had a good run. He had a good run. Yep. Yeah, he had a strong run.
He had a good run. Injuries did him in.
Him and Nash.
You can say Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh,
okay, so how old are y'all though? How old are y'all?
I'm 35. I'm 35.
35. I'm 27. So it's like y'all seeing a whole different generation of hoopers.
Yeah.
So, but like just from what I seen, I gotta say them.
So based off of them, like for that position, like how do you see the position today? Like, do you feel like it gets enough love in the league? Or just all the leagues around the country? I mean, around the world?
Man, I think it's one of the most important positions.
Talk about it. Yep.
Because now, you said what now?
No, go ahead.
I mean, because now you look at it. I mean, I think we all can agree. Maybe we can't, but I think we all can agree that Ben Simmons is a power forward.
Definitely.
And not a point guard. So when you look at that aspect, it's like, dang, our power forwards can be considered point guards. Julius Randle is a power forward.
Right.
But he plays like a point guard. He handles the ball. I guarantee if you break it down statistically, he probably has the ball in his hands the most on that team.
Yeah, he had a good year. He's an all-star, yeah.
So I feel like as a power forward, you have to be able to guard 1 through 5. You got to be able to make decisions for 1 through 5. You got to be able to score, rebound. I think it's the most difficult position to play. That's just my opinion.
I agree. And the reason why I said it, because you also have to defend.
You got to defend.
You also have to defend. So it's like, and now it's like, now you have these athletic, forwards that you have to defend and you have to score. So now because before, back then, like your power forward was, in there for defense, grabbing rebounds or whatever. You didn't ask him to, put the ball in the basket. And I'm happy that you mentioned Dirk, because Dirk done changed that game, that whole position.
He changed it, right?
Like, he changed that position. Because at first, when I first started seeing Dirk when he was young, I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Why is he shooting the ball? Why ain't you backing him down?
Right. Why is this big dude doing this?
Right. But look what he did. Got himself a ring, MVP, changed that position. And nowadays, it's like now you want a big that shoot. And now you look at Ben Simmons, it's like, dude, you're a big. Everybody's shooting. Why ain't you shooting? So it's I think it's one of probably the hardest position on the floor right now.
So how y'all feel about this? I feel like, and this might be blasphemy in my Stephen A voice, but I feel like Ben Simmons should go to the G League.
To the D League?
Yeah, he should go to the G League for sure.
D League, okay.
He should go, and not saying that because he obviously can play in the NBA, but I think he should go for a confidence standpoint to just be like, I'm about to just pull on y'all. I'm about to just feel me. I'm about to do this in the G League on maybe a lower level, even though the G League is like this compared to NBA, whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna do this for my confidence, then come back.
Right.
And he's an all-star, quote unquote. I mean, technically he is, but it's like I did not see all year how he was an all-star.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think like it's a few guys who did that, like Trey Burke did that, went to the G League, balling, boosted his confidence, came back.
What up, little man?
Oh, yes, my son. Came back, did his thing. Feel me? Dennis Smith Jr. played for the Knicks, did that, went to the G League, came back doing his thing. There's a lot of people who did that by choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit.
But
Ben, go to the G League, Ben.
he has to do something, like either get on one of these in these national team play, try to ball out, because he definitely needs the confidence back. He needs
to drink. He needs to drink the Westbrook juice. Whatever Westbrook drinking, he needs to drink it.
He needs
because West don't give a fuck what nobody say. He can have two bad games in a row. Cool, come back, get it. Cool, 10 triple doubles.
That's that yak.
Yeah, he said, I'm busting everybody's ass.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I'm surprised Ben Simmons is not playing for the Australian national team because he Australian, right?
Yeah, yep.
I think Ben trying to stay out the cameras, man.
No, he's definitely trying to stay out the cameras. But it's like
because his confidence is all the way messed up
right now. Yeah, definitely.
As a hooper, how can you tell during games or like when you're playing somebody if their confidence is where it needs to be?
When they got a wide open layup and they don't even lay up, they pass it off.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Bro,
I know all hoopers across the world were like, yo,
bro,
family.
6'10", bro, 6'10", 6'9", bro. Could have easily laid it up like this, bro.
But when I was like, man, what the? I was like, man.
He passed the ball and then got mad at dude that missed the ball because he passed it to him and he was double teamed and he missed it like Ben.
Nah, see, and I hate it when people do that. Like when the guard come down and the big be in the dunker spot. Like, of course, I want the ball to dunk it, but when you got a wide open layup and I'm just like, I'm looking at the rim.
Right.
You pass it off to me and I'll mess around and fumble it or something like that. It's like, bro, why are you passing it to me? You have me fooled. I'm looking for the rebound.
Yeah.
So seeing someone in the league playing that bad, man, like knowing how bad you want to be on the highest level, and you see someone taking up an opportunity, not necessarily taking advantage of the opportunity, how does that make you feel from your position on, in the league that you play in?
I mean,
or just as a hooper.
It's just more motivation to keep working. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna pray on another man's downfall. I'm gonna pray actually he get his mind right and started hooping on these dudes like how a number one pick should. But it's just more motivation because it's like when I watch the game, I put myself in the game. So it's like when this dude is not taking that shot, it's like I would have had 12, 14 points. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, if they had me in that position, I'm gonna score 14 points for a fact. Because it's like you can't give me the type of player I'm in. I am them open shots, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, dang, this dude in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then just like even like playing against all these dudes from, like I said, like the Julius Randles and Jabari Parkers and going head to head, you know what I mean? Scoring with them and guarding them, blocking their shot and guarding Jared Sullinger every day in practice and playing with Trey Burke. Ohio State University is right around the corner from me. So hooping with like Greg Oden and Mike Conley, John Deaver, all these dudes, this is like, I'm right there with y'all. So it's like, if you watching, you're not gonna be able to tell who's in the NBA or who is not. You know what I mean? So it's like, I wish Ben Simmons the best, but it's like, bro, you slipping, bro. You know what I mean? Like you definitely slipping. You making me feel like, dang, I should be in your. You do a lot of stuff, so I'm not gonna say he don't deserve it. He do, but it's like, bro, like if I was on that team, I feel like we would have been in the NBA Finals right now.
Facts.
You know what I mean? That's just how real. I feel as a hooper, though.
That's real. That's how you talk your shit. We would have been in the finals.
Right, we would have been in the finals. It ain't no way. It ain't no way you're gonna leave me open from three, and I'm not gonna shoot it and give myself a chance to even make the shot. I'm gonna at least shoot it. Because he probably had about 10 open shots and didn't even attempt it. And I'm saying, if I got it, I'm going to at least shoot. Out of those 10 open shots, I'm going to shoot 7 of those 10, I might swing it, go set a pick, whatever, get the offense flowing. But come on, man, you got to give your team a chance.
Facts. Jay, man, I want to go back to just real quick, man. Just share with everyone like your high school experience and then like your whole recruiting process. Because I feel like right now, I think with how recruiting is changing and college athletics is training, we want to make sure our young listeners understand how to manage or navigate the recruiting process.
Yeah, man. That's the fun part about basketball, to be honest. You know what I mean? The recruitment and getting scholarships. So like my recruitment started kind of early. Like going into my freshman year, I got a scholarship from Kent State University. And I couldn't believe it myself because it was like
as an 8th grader.
Going into my 9th grade year.
Wow.
So I went to like this elite camp. Make a long story short, I was just like on the second court, and it was like, junior varsity on this court, and incoming freshman, sophomore, whatever, scrubs on this court, whatever. So I'm over there, I'm just hooping, just playing ball, like, you know what I mean? Not even caring what's going on over there. And then one of the coaches saw me and was like, hey, yo, man, come over here and play on this court. And I went on that court. I probably only scored like 2 times. But it was the fact that everybody else was seniors and I was in the 8th going to the 9th. After that, the coach like pulled me to the side, brought me in the office and was just like showing me around and all this stuff. And I'm literally blind to it. I'm just sitting here like, oh, this is nice. You know what I mean? I'm just a kid from the hood. I'm like, oh, damn. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, this is all right. And I went to the assistant coach from my high school, and then they like kind of told him first. And I could see by when his eyes lit up, I just knew like, oh yeah, they about to offer me a scholarship. So when I seen his eyes lit up, and he was like, yeah, we would like to offer you a full ride scholarship. Wow. Now, you don't have to decide now, but I'm like, dang, I was just like, man. I'm like, I made it for sure. So that was like my first visit and like hooping in front of college coaches to my knowledge, to my, you know what I mean, doing all that in front of them. But like I said, just playing on the AU team with Terry and being with Trey, Burke, and Jared Sullinger, like it was so easy to go Division I because them dudes brought everybody to the gym. So it's like when we had open gyms at Northland, we got North Carolina, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, West Virginia, Indiana, Dayton, Xavier. We have literally every school in the Midwest watching it. So you can just
do your thing.
Scholarship. You can drop, step, dunk, scholarship. You feel me? You could left hand hook, scholarship. So it was like, it was easy. And it's like, I know that ain't the same route for everybody else. But that's why I thank God for like put me on that path to be with Jared Sullinger, to be with Trey Burke, to be with Terry Rozier, to be with all these dudes who made it easy for me. Because all I had to do was just show up and just do the basics. And it was like, I'm just going to find my way. It's going to navigate itself. So my recruitment, I didn't really take too many visits. I visited Wake Forest, University of Dayton. Yeah, I visited University of Dayton, and I visited West Virginia. That was it.
Liddy, how'd you choose? How'd you, or like, why'd you end up choosing University of Dayton?
Man, long story, man. But my older brother, Terry Rozier, he got killed in the city of Dayton, and he went to the school called Wright State, and he got killed, and it was like, I don't like fearing. I don't like living my life in fear. But after that, I was scared of the city of Dayton. I was scared of it, like, because Dayton is from where I'm at. It's like 40 minutes away, and I'm like a high school kid, so I'm thinking everything. Man, they gonna come up here. They gonna kill me. They gonna kill my family, man. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. So it's like, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking the worst about Dayton. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Forget that. I'm going to go there. I'm going to see what it is for myself. And I'll be damned. Like, you know what I mean? I had that approach. I'll be damned. Like, nah, I'm going myself. I'm going to conquer this fear. And, you know what I mean? To be honest, I feel like I shouldn't have been thinking like that emotionally, because I don't think that was the best choice for me to go to that school, because of, like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like the mindset of having in, because the hospital that my brother died in was on that campus.
Wow.
So I would wake up and I would see the hospital probably like 2 or 3 blocks, Miami Valley Hospital. I would see it. And it was always like a constant reminder on some, like, you know what I mean? Like, dang, like, this is the tragic event that happened. So I conquered that fear, but that was like, man, once I really got to that, I was kind of like, I shouldn't even been deciding my future off of conquering the fear. You know what I mean? I regret thinking like that, to be honest.
So at the end of the year, did you open up your recruitment?
Yeah, but listen, I was committed to West Virginia University with Bob Huggins. So I was committed with him, and I decommitted from that. I went on a visit to Wake Forest, and then like I wasn't my recruitment trail wasn't really that hot until like the last year where you can get recruited. Because I can't really say why, but once, like, going into my senior year, I started getting scholarships from like Georgia University, Bulldogs, Alabama, Crimson Tide, Tennessee, Oklahoma State, and Dayton was also like, Dayton was always good in basketball, because I know I'm from Ohio, and Dayton is like always a team that's like, man, they could have did this or they could have did that. And so I always knew growing up, like, Dayton Flyers always like so I just figured, like, man, I'm just gonna go here. I don't have Ohio State on my recruitment trail, so I don't really want to go too far from home, so I just chose there too. But I wish I wasn't thinking like that, to be honest.
No, I get it, man. I get it. Being so yeah, man. We covered a lot, Jay, man. I mean, I definitely want to just get your input and your insight on how you feel about the NBA playoffs this year, man.
Yeah. Yeah. But one, you know what? To touch back on what I just said, I should have went to UCLA. I had a scholarship to go there, and I turned it down.
Who was going to be on that squad if you went there?
Lonzo Ball would have been on that squad.
He'd have been with Zoe.
Kevin Looney.
Yep.
Yep.
He'd have been on that squad. What's the one dude's name? He ended up getting into a shootout with the police and killing himself. Like Tyler Lamb or Tyler Lamb or something like that. He was a dog. He was good for UCLA too, but I always think about it, like, man, I should have picked UCLA when I had a chance. I should have did that when I had a chance, for sure.
No, I get it. Yeah. No, I mean, that's one of the hardest decisions. I mean,
right? Because
any athlete has to make.
Because, like you just said, it's one of those situations where it's like this is my career. I'm gonna spend 4 years here. I mean, that's the mindset. You can transfer, whatever the case may be, but it's like, this is it. This is where my journey begins. Well, starts over again. You know what I mean? Because you're going into as a freshman and again trying to prove yourself. But man,
exactly, 100%. That's real. 100%.
So when you left Dayton and when you went to Dalton, tell us a little bit more about like how that experience were and like how was like the level of basketball there.
The level of ball was significantly different, lesser. There was still people there who could hoop, but it wasn't like Division I. You know what I mean? I was All-American there. I ended up doing my thing, but it was easy compared. I feel like, especially coming from D1 to that lower level of college, it's like, man, y'all some little babies, bro. Got
a mismatch down here. Give me the rock.
Just pushing them off, coaching ball.
Nah, hey, in real talk, this is the Talk Your Shit podcast. Like, it was like that, like, man, move, man. I know.
I'm just
like, man, I got a baby at home, bro. Watch out, bro. I'm growing up.
I'm just here for these two right here. Let's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on.
Hold this 20. hold this 20, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Double. Let's get it.
And I only played 14 games. I ended up being an All-American and all that.
Jeez.
At that level. So, but to tell to all the younger viewers and all that, please take your time with your recruitment process. Yeah. Like if you're a younger viewer and you're watching this, take your time and don't be an irrational decision maker. Take all things in consideration and really take your life into your own hands, because when you're doing that, you're making a decision that's going to be, and obviously you can transfer and do all that stuff, but nobody want to go through that. Right. Just focusing, you know what I mean? I would tell the young cats, stay away from drugs, alcohol, make sure you get your grades early in the game and ball out, you know what I mean? But stay focused for sure. And really take your time on your visits, do all 4 visits, and don't rush your decision, because they want you at the end of the day. Right. So that's what I would tell the younger dudes. Just take your time, be patient.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah. You can only get that here at the Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Right. You already know what it is. Jalen out here dropping gems.
You can only get that here.
Yeah, man. Jay, about the playoffs, man. Who you got? Like, who you been rocking with? And like, has there been anything that you've been surprised about?
I'm surprised that both them teams is there.
The Suns?
I'm a Lakers fan.
Right. It was one of those weird years because it's like all these injuries during the playoffs. Right. I mean, It's like normally I think you would see like a Lakers probably in the finals versus the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, because I wanted the Brooklyn Nets and Lakers doing one out. I mean, because as long as we got LeBron,
that's a star-studded finals.
Right. As long as we got LeBron and KD healthy, I mean, and you want to see these guys in the finals duke it out.
I want to see these guys in the finals every year. And a lot of, I swear, people was really getting mad at seeing LeBron in the finals every year. I'm just like, how could you be mad at one? That's great. You want to see the best player in the finals every year. You want to see that. Like, why are y'all mad? Whether he's winning or losing, he's the best player. And he's going to that mug every single year.
Yeah. 9 straight seasons.
And them dudes was mad. People was really mad at it. It's like, even if you're not a fan of it, it was like, you got to appreciate the art of what's being, displayed to you.
I mean, because it's not easy.
Right. It's not easy.
It's not a walk to the park. Like, this man it's not even one team. He took several teams to the NBA Finals.
Right. Several teams. And the Cavs team he took was, I'm talking about the first time.
Against Detroit. Ugh. I mean, no, against the Spurs. The Spurs. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's when he got swept that year, right?
That was booty.
Oh my gosh. I always flip a coin. Like,
Drew Gooden.
Which one was the worst team in the finals? Was it the Sixers with AI and they lost to the Lakers, or that team? Like, I don't know which one's which, because they're both bad.
It was that team, the Cavs.
Think so? The Cavs?
Yeah, it had to be. Because it's like, who was the second man?
Was it Boobie? I don't know. Was it Boobie? I don't know.
Nah, it was Larry. I think it might have been Larry Hughes.
Larry was on that team?
I don't know.
I don't think he might.
Damon Jones.
I don't. Yeah. That team was bad.
Okay, but so then you think about the Sixers. I can tell you, Allen Iverson, Eric Snow,
But who's your number 2 there? If AI's not going off, who you going? Who's shooting the rock?
Eric Snow. And then Kembe playing D.
I don't know about no Snow.
So you saying the Sixers is the worst team?
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. I'm always flipping a coin because that roster was no way.
I mean, surely it was a few worse teams than them two, though, right?
I don't know.
Damn, that's deep. You think about it, it's like, damn, them in the last 25 two might be the worst teams to make it to the final.
Yeah, I
ain't even think about it.
Because if you look at it, the Lakers played I think they played the Nets before that in the finals. It might have been the Nets or Indiana, but those two teams had a good squad. You had Jake.
You know what I would say though? I would say that you right for those two teams, but I would say that 2011, 2012 Oklahoma City Thunder team that was loaded and made it to the finals. I'm disappointed that they couldn't beat the Heat.
It was too young. I mean, they needed that. They needed that. I'm
disappointed though, because it's like
it was a lot of talent on the team.
It was too much talent on that team. It was a lot of
even though they was young, it was too much talent on that team.
3 MVPs.
So, is that team better than the Golden State team that LeBron beat? Is a team that?
No, I mean, I would say no, simply because of experience. Simply because of experience.
But is that okay? Is that a bad question to ask?
No. I think it's a fair question. What do you think, Dave?
I'm going Golden State. Like in a heavy game series, those 3 MVPs versus Golden State, I'm taking Steph and Clay and Draymond. I'm taking them 3. I'm taking that style of game.
You say you're taking that style?
Yeah, I'm taking it. I know it's hard to go with like KD.
Experience because they've been there before. Because I think they won the year before, right?
Because Westbrook wasn't what we see now.
So
2012.
But he was still something though.
Yeah. Oh, he was a problem.
It wasn't like he may not have been what he is now, because he obviously, like P was saying, he got the experience now. He understands how to handle certain situations. Even though he ain't won the championship yet, he's still one of the greatest players.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In our history, in the history of the game. But
facts.
I would say to have, Serge Ibaka, Reggie Jackson, Thabo Thevalosa, whatever his name is, then KD, James, Russ, Derek. Well, I don't think Derek Fisher was on that team, but Daquan Cook was on that team.
Derek was on that team. He might have been on that team.
That's one of the teams that should be. It was Russ. James didn't start.
No, James didn't start. So they had Thabo playing the 2, 3, whatever.
Oh yeah, 2, 3, KD, Serge, and Nick. What's his name?
Was it Collison?
Collison. Yeah. Wow. And I would say, just talking about the finals, I would say, even that LeBron team was dope, but that's the team that underachieved. Right. I'm looking at it like half empty. They failed. They supposed to win it.
So if the Bucks don't win, they're fact. They were supposed to beat them. But speaking of that, right now in terms of underperforming, even though the Bucks got last night, how they looked in the first 2 games was like, they might get swept, but they got the game last night. So if they don't win, will they be underperforming? Will Giannis be just 2-time MVP be underperforming? Like, would he, how is this going to look for him?
I mean, I look at it like this. I look at both storylines. Suns win, it's going to be Chris Paul, how great a point guard he is. He finally win it, which is cool. I feel like we all be happy with that. But I feel like if Giannis win it too, it's like, we'll be happy with that too. It's 2-time MVP. He young. We all saying he taking over the league. He gonna be the next great whatever. So it's like, I really wouldn't say it's a disappointment or underachievement, because look at all the greats besides like Magic Johnson or somebody like that. Like, who really get there and win it their first time?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just to get there is a blessing. So, like, I wouldn't say they underachieve or anything like that, because it's like, in my eyes, they're not supposed to be there in the first place.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got an injury depleted Brooklyn Nets. Ben Simmons is playing like I don't know who. So it's like, you know what I mean? Come on, like y'all. He's
the fraud of a first round overall pick.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
I think it'll be underachieving because, and the reason why I say that, Jalen, because you just highlighted that he's one of the greats. I mean, and when you align yourself and you want to put him, because I feel like the NBA is trying to put him in the same ballpark of LeBron James and KD. So when you're in those, and when you playing in those rooms, we need rings.
He rings. So what about Chris Paul then?
I mean, Chris Paul, like if he gets one, like he's in that conversation, like right, like he was in that level. Like I would say, Chris Paul is in the same room as right now as Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing. He's a great.
Okay, yeah.
He's a great, but he doesn't have a ring. And there's levels to to greatness. You know what I mean? And LeBron.
So who is still considering Chris Paul right now because he don't have a ring? Who is the greatest NBA player without a ring?
Without a ring?
Charles Barkley.
Barkley?
Charles will be high up there, and I'm an AI fan, and I'm gonna throw AI in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
you have a great list because Charles, Tracy McGrady, Patrick Ewing, who else was in that era that Jordan just
Penny Hardaway,
GP.
Yeah, like, Sean Kemp, Penny Hardaway, them dudes.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Facts. So who you got? Bucks.
Now I'm gonna go out
there. The Suns. Yeah, what's up? Before we get out of here, what you got?
Before we get out of here, and I'm gonna go ahead and say the Bucks are gonna win.
Oh shit.
The Bucks gonna win 4-2.
In
6. You got the Bucks in 6.
They want to win.
All right.
4 straight. They gonna win 4 straight. I think Giannis is alive. He's a whoa. He not about to. He hear what you saying, Pete.
He not gonna choke. Is that what you're saying, Jay? He ain't
gonna
choke.
He hear what you saying, bro. He hear what you saying.
I hope so. I hope so.
He heard that. He literally heard that. He knows, like, yeah, they saying I'm KD, LeBron, like they saying I'm Jordan, like they saying that. I gotta get me a ring while I'm here. I think he gonna do it. I think he gonna come back down.
So you think Ayton and Booker and CP and Payne, like in Miles Bridges, so you're saying Jay Crowder, they're gonna choke?
They're gonna choke.
Oh, talking shit, big dog.
Right?
Talking shit, big dog.
I know, Jalen, man. I think the Bucks did what they were supposed to do last game, but it's a wrap. That's the only game I'm giving them.
They gonna choke, and this is gonna define CP's legacy, and it's gonna be bad for him.
That boy's locked in, man. I feel like he's gonna pull it off, and I feel like, and the reason why is the role players. Like the role players are doing everything that they're supposed to be doing. Like the Bridges, Ayton, he's playing. He's not. I don't want to consider him a role player, but he's playing his part. And then
he's playing like the best big in the league.
Right. And he's doing it at the right time in the biggest stage. And then you look at Middleton, like before this show, I was praising Middleton. I was saying if Giannis doesn't show up, this is gonna turn it into Middleton's team next year. But these last 2 games, the boy came out and he shut me up. I'm not even Giannis, I apologize. This is still your team.
I was about to say, you must be crazy, man, to say that. You must be crazy.
Shaking his dreads.
Because regardless, bro, it's gonna be who sell the tickets, and who's gonna put the fans in the crowd. When you see Giannis go from full court in like 4 steps and dunk it, I'm paying money to see that. I ain't paying Chris Middleton to do a step back. It's good, it's dope, it's good, it's hard. Like we need that. I'm coming to see Giannis flat out in the end. He's dunking from the free throw line at least once a game.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what's gonna sell.
And the fact that he's coming off of that, that hyperextended knee, and he's just been balling out, man. He just put the league on notice. But I feel like his supporting cast they haven't been consistent.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Suns supposed to win, but I'm just hating.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just hating.
I don't want. To be honest, I don't want to see Chris Paul win. I just don't. I'm not that big of a fan
of the game. Got you.
So I don't want to see it, man. So Chris Paul, if you ever come across this, I know you dope, but I don't
it's not personal. I just, it's not.
I want to see Giannis get his right
now. My guy's team Giannis, man. But Jay, man. So we always ask our guests, man, who is your GOAT? Who's your greatest of all time? Any athlete.
Any athlete.
Any athlete.
Of any sport.
Any sport. Who's the greatest athlete of all time in your eyes?
Deion Sanders.
Prime time.
Yeah, this is the second time. I think this is like the
couple
fourth
times. We got a couple of Deion prime time.
Did y'all know this man?
Why is he your GOAT? Why is he your GOAT?
Did y'all know this man was an all-star in the Major League Baseball? Major League Baseball?
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine that. Like he was in an all-star game in Major League Baseball, a secondary sport. Man, that's the greatest athlete of all time, bro.
Major facts.
Like, and then what he did for football, he revolutionized the game. He was in Atlanta, so that's already Black Hollywood. He like pioneered Black Hollywood, if you will say that, because of who he was bringing out, what he was doing on Sundays, the gold, the flash, the Lamborghinis. Yeah, it's like, and as a kid, it's like, I got my Deion Sanders on. I got my feel me, my bandana on. I'm out there like this, all big.
Rocking 21, writing 21 on your t-shirts.
Oh yeah, I'm Deion. I'm Deion for the day. That's how I felt.
Yeah, you had his kicks. You got the kicks. You got the Deons.
What?
You had them? You just aspired.
I had the Deons. I want to get another pair. Them was like one of the greatest. I ain't gonna say they're the greatest shoe, but as far as Nike, that's one of the best Nike shoes that they done put out.
Yeah, and especially during that era, because then you had the Griffeys in there. You had a whole bunch the Barkleys,
the Griffeys, the Deons. Them was hard.
Harry Paytons,
legendary.
TPs was hard. You feel me? The Penny Hardaways.
Oh my gosh, I'm falling.
Them was all classic Nikes. Them was all dope, right? I would wear those today if I had I ain't got no pairs of none of them, but I would wear them if I had them for sure.
Right.
Jay.
But Kobe my favorite. Kobe's my favorite.
Favorite basketball player?
Yeah, he's my favorite athlete, but the greatest to me is Deion Sanders for sure.
Now, Deion was a problem on Sundays and on the baseball field, man.
Can't argue with that, man. Jay, when we get out of here, man, we always want to leave our young people and our listeners, man, with some motivation, man. And I know you went through a little earlier, man, about everyone keeping their grades up and really stinking at it. Is there anything else you want to leave for like motivation for the young kids?
You can do it. It's going to be a lot of people out there telling you that you can't do it. It's going to be a lot of people out there telling you and tempting you to do things. It's going to throw you off your course in life. It's going to be a lot of temptation, but know that God is real. Know that your faith can carry you a long way. Know that what you do in the dark is going to come to light as far as working out, whether you put in the work off the court, off the field. It's all going to show. You can't hide your agility on the court. You can't hide your ability to shoot, to jump, to rebound. All that is going to expose itself. So what you're doing behind the scenes is going to show. So don't just talk your shit. Make sure you walking it. Make sure you doing everything you can to be what you're talking about. And that's what I tell all the younger dudes, because now it's social media days and everybody want to post something. They want to just say they doing it, but the real dogs is putting in that work so much they can't post about it. So I would tell the younger generation right now, know that you can get paid off of this game and know that this game can provide a way for your family. It can get you education. It can get you what you want. So I would take advantage of it and I would treat it like it's my baby. I'm going to treat it near and dear to my heart because it's going to take you a long way. I mean, a guy like me from Northside, Columbus, Ohio, going to Croatia, Egypt, Thailand, to Tokyo, all these places, I would just say treat the game with respect, and you're going to play the game the way you live your life. If you live your life foul, you live your life terrible off the court, it's going to show. So just know that you got to play the game the way you live your life. So that means you got to live righteous. So that's what I would say. Live righteous, stay prayed up, and work hard.
P, what you got?
Gems, man. That was some serious gems, man. I was just throwing back, D. Man, but I have great things are done by a series of small things brought together. So like Jalen said, man, all the hard work that you put behind closed doors is definitely going to eventually show up. Just continue to grind, continue to keep your head down, and continue to keep your eyes on the prize.
Keep your eyes on the prize. Yeah, man, it's lit, man. I think I want to leave young people with this, man. Take pride in your craft. Take pride in what you're doing. Like really seize the moment, seize the opportunity. I think we've all, in our sporting careers understand that being on these teams, like there's only a certain amount of spots, and everyone's fighting and clawing for minutes and playing time, man. So really take advantage of what you got to take advantage of, and really hone in on your skills and make yourself an asset, man. That's really what it's all about. Yeah. Jay, we give you all your flowers, man. We thank you.
Appreciate you.
You know what I mean?
Hey, this was dope, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all having me. I love it, man. I appreciate that, man. This is like motivation and inspirational for me to keep hooping, and being able to do this is love right here, man. I hope y'all succeed and grow up to be this big, platform.
Salute, man. We're big fans, man. We're mad supportive, man. I'm saying we'll definitely be posting your content, man. And then make sure you ball out, bro.
Yeah, hey, I leave July 20th, man. I'm gonna shoot y'all a link to watch my games and all that.
Yeah.
Do that.
So, yeah, make sure y'all tune in, man. I appreciate the support.
No doubt. All right, Jay. It's been lit. All right, y'all. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talking Shit Sports Podcast YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, lock in with us on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, y'all. And we'll stay tuned to many more interviews coming up. Jay, we appreciate you, man. Salute.
All right, man. Y'all take care.
All right, man. Peace.